everyone, my name is Phil Wendling. I'm a house parent here at St. Joseph's Indian School, and today I'm going to be reading a story to some children entitled The Great Race, and it's by Paul Goble, and it's about a race between the two-leggeds and the four-leggeds, and it's going to be a great time. Thanks so much. Do you know why buffalo have long hair on their chins? Long ago, when the world was still quite new, buffaloes used to eat people. It is true. The hair on their chins is the hair of the people they used to eat. Yeah. It is terrible to think about those times. The Creator saw how people suffered. He heard their prayers for help. There came a day when he told Crow to call all living things together in the hills, which rise like an island from the center of the Great Plains. The people and buffalo and every bird and animal heard Crow calling, and they came to the hills from all directions across the plains. The Creator stood on the highest hilltop and spoke to them all. Toke, it is right that buffalo eat people, or should people eat buffaloes instead? All you tribes of four-leggeds and wingeds will decide. There will be a race around these hills. If the buffalo win the race, they will still eat people. But if the people win the race, they will eat the buffalo and all four-leggeds instead. Get ready, choose your fastest runners. Join the side you want to win. The people chose a young man. He had never lost a race. Even the buffalo knew he could be hard to beat. But they had a young cow to run for them. She was everyone's favorite, and they were sure she would win. The animals joined the buffalo because they have four legs. The birds sided with the people because they have two legs, as we do. Each tribe chose its fastest runner. Suddenly, wolf and coyote raised their heads and howled. Ho-po! The runners sped away with a thunder of feet and a great wind of flying birds. The birds flew ahead like arrows. Magpie beat her wings fast, and even the tiniest birds left her behind. But she had made up her mind she was going to win. She had been thinking things out and had made a plan. She flew down and sat on the buffalo's back. The day was hot, the birds were panting, and when they came to a stream they stopped to drink. But they drank too much and then fell asleep in the trees. The animals swam past them, except for Beaver, whose legs were too short for such a long race, and he slipped into a lovely pool in the shade of the trees. Otter followed, and Muskrat too. Buffalo and the young man took the lead, and the larger animals were staying close behind. Magpie had not made a sound. Nobody even noticed her sitting on the buffalo's back. Jackrabbit was hopping along well until he saw Coyote trotting up behind him. He was so frightened that he fled out into the plains. He is still there, always wondering who is behind him. Nobody remembers how long they raced around the hills. It was several days. Tired runners dropped out all along the way. Prairie Dog wasted his energy chattering at Hawk. Rattlesnake ate Toad and then curled up to sleep. Mouse vanished down a hole when Bear almost stepped on her. Mole and Gopher tunneled along underground, and they still think the race is on. The young man fell further and further behind the buffalo. He had run his best. Nobody could say he would have run better. Even Buffalo was almost exhausted, and her head hung low. Magpie was still clinging to the thick woolly fur of the buffalo's back. But when Buffalo saw the finish line, she ran faster in a final effort. All the four-legged animals watching from the hillsides cheered her. They were quite sure she was the winner. Suddenly, Magpie flew up from Buffalo's back. Everyone had forgotten about her. She was feeling good and was not tired at all. Magpie flew up towards the sun, and then she swooped down, squawking and crossed the finishing line just in front of the buffalo. A great shout of people and birds filled the air. Magpie, the slowest of all birds, had won the race for the two-leggeds. The chiefs of the Buffalo Nation told the people that was a fair race. Now we are under your power. You will eat us." And then the Creator spoke to the people. "Use your power wisely. Look after all things that I have made, even the smallest of them. They are all your relatives. Make yourself worthy of them and give thanks always." After that, the people were shown how to make bows and arrows, and they were given horses. They hunted the buffalo when they needed meat. Nobody ever harms magpie. The people have always been grateful to the birds for taking their side in the great race. They honor them when they wear their beautiful feathers. We can all be a little like the birds. They leave the earth with wings, and we can also leave the world by letting our thoughts rise as high as the birds fly. All of you have feathers that you wear from time to time? Huh? Yeah, you gifted some of your family or some elders or somebody's gifted you feathers, right? Yeah. All right, well, that's the end of today's story. I'll be back in 2 weeks to read another one. Hopefully you'll be here, okay? Thanks for listening.